here I am with finally with the video that probably so few people that you waited for. Some people on YouTube already gave their opinion to the latest, biggest DC announcement. It was last week, Friday, or was it Thursday? I can't remember when it was. Actually, Wednesday. You should just read here. Why did it took so long? Well, there was a couple of things already planned ahead, and yeah, when this video goes online, it's Monday, I guess. Yeah, so I'm also going through those update and giving my impression about it, as well as trying to explain a few things. Yeah, just straight start. I mean, it's pretty obvious here, written up in the upper, revamping stats, removing AM and WM bonuses, and not removing the mechanics itself, which is an absolute problem because people don't read that far to the bonus part and assume advanced mechanics or even weapon mastery. Well, weapon mastery people are sure that this stays because, well, it's pretty obvious, but some people think advanced mechanics are getting removed. No, they are still there. They won't do this extra damage anymore. That's the whole thing. And that's called advanced mechanic bonus and not advanced mechanic itself. What's an advanced mechanic? It's sometimes like the 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff. It's the combos which were actually never an advanced mechanic. They just turned it into the description of an advanced mechanic, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, that's this. Well, they buffing supercharges, modifying powers, and so on. Well, let's get straight to the overview. Most important part, which is the combat rating differential removal. So they're removing the combat rating differential, as someone explained somewhere else on the forums. Right now, all the bosses in tier 2, tier 1, and so on, and lower tiers are actually scaled up to something like tier 8. So if they would remove the combat rating differential, all these bosses are actually acting like tier 8, and they only get nerfed down the road. So the adjustment right now means a lot for the devs to work on. They really have to work a lot on to remove this differential. Not only that, but also every single piece of content needs to be readjusted in difficulty, and that obviously took some time. Or it still takes, I don't know. We're coming later to the release part. It doesn't mean they remove combat rating. You still will need combat rating to advance in the process. So if you're 120, you can't access end game content and so on. Combat rating will just measure your progress in tier, but not your how much you're doing damage, or how much you are affected by NPCs itself, or how much you are affecting NPCs. This is all gone then. So they're going back to the old stats model that we had before game update 47. And to give here my first personal opinion, this is obviously the best thing they could do. Game update 47 was being hated by the community, as when it was announced, everyone said it would go downhill, it wouldn't work out, and they still kept going away with it, which is sad because even the community disagreed with it. Now they, after over 1.5 years, I think is 1.5 years, they finally realize. Well, they announced it a half year ago already, but now they finally realize what damage it caused. It was more about what you see are right now than anything else. Really badly affected with survivor mode for those who do it, or those who participate in it. Survivor mode was literally the rounds were being kept on based on how high the CR were of the NPCs in comparison to the group, and that it's just plain bad because skill was being kept out at some point. You could be the most skilled player in the freaking universe, you wouldn't get past it simply because the CR was in place. So most of the time you could tell by default how far a group can go, and The first times it was being released, I literally called out how far people can go, because we had a grasp on how much differential can you overcome by testing it out on test server. Yeah, that's this. It's content, it's great, and this will bring the game forward again. This will definitely bring the game forward on so many levels. Yeah, for those who never seen it before, those who started like 1.5 years ago, or the Xbox community, yeah, you will see it will be so much better. Don't be in fear of it. It will be really, you will love it, because we as a people who played before it, we loved it too, and there's a reason why you should also embrace it. It's great. It's a lot better. We're looking at how you gain stats over the course. Yeah, well, yeah, of course they're trying to smooth the line, the stats gain, and so on. So we will see how that goes. Can't much say, because this is what you need to say when it's on test. I'll leave that out. And they're also redistributing the stats type, where they're coming from. Skill points getting removed from the weapon trees and gets their own trees, which is great. You see that here. Skill points getting adjusted. You have to put some skill points in the upper trees. So to unlock the lower tree section, 20 points I think was it. And the lower tiers, it's not 17, it's 170 each. Yeah, well, the lower tiers are more interesting. The only thing right now, you might see it on the lab, is that the tank is a bit left out. They're missing something where they could put in. The only thing they can right now put in is crit chance, if you're like an atomic bellow tank type of thing, or crit heal chance, crit heal severity, if you're fire, or actually, if you're fire, I think ice to a degree is all okayish, but not really like super duper great, because ice is really working off Dom and Resto right now. So it's fire. It's actually only fire here who's profiting from it, and the other one is then for controller crit chance there for the power thing. So there is not really something where you can say go in as a tank in base. You get your basic 20 points to unlock the lower tier rows, which is right now a problem. I hope they're fixing it. They're adjusting, giving something for the tanks to work towards, with a more of a meaning. Because right now the other three roles, the PS, Troll, and Heal, are fine. They can go what's needed for them, but the tank really is a bit like he's been forced into something he not necessarily wants to have. So this is a bit of a problem. We will see if they bringing something for tanks, because making only 3 roads profiting from this whole concept is bad. All 4 roads should profit from it. This is my opinion about it. This is the only downside I see to it, but we don't know how it's finished because it's work in progress. I wouldn't really put too much into this whole, what you have seen on the live stream if you watched it. And yeah, you can put skill points. For DPS it's straightforward. You want to have 190 skill points at least to put in 20 into the basics and get your core out in the whatever you are, precision or might base. Having over 200 will work a lot. I think 230 was it? 230. This is where you get your most out of it. Yeah, if you don't have so much, it's time for you to do feats. There is a lot of feat guides out there where you get easy feats. Take them. Yeah, take them. Yeah, it's easy to get to 230. Really, we had someone in the league who did in 2 weeks over 200 without buying it, because it was a fresh thing for him. Also mods, yeah, you might read that here. For example, mods takes time to farm and maintain. they're going to buff up the mods. Mods are getting more valued. So you hate farming. Well, you can still go on buy it off the broker. However, farming is really not that hard. If you're sitting in a watchtower all day, go out, go in Gotham or Metro. It's not hard. For an hour or something, stop standing around in a watchtower and be useless. Just go out there. There's so much things. You can go out there. You can farm lower content where you get alternative rewards. There's a chance that you get also the exhibits. It's all out there. Go there. It is so easy to get the exhibits these days. You just need to go out instead of just standing around and thinking it all comes to you. It's not coming to you. You have to do a little bit on your own to get there. And this game is already a really free handout for everyone. So yeah, okay. Skill points, asset, weapon trees. You only need to put the points now in the trees you want. If you want something, if you don't care about weapon mastery, I think a lot of people won't go for the weapon mastery just to save points that they can put into actual stats. If you're like me, I'm healer main. I can easily distribute both crit heals and both crit heal parts and also full resto. Then I have still points left over I can put into whatever. Weapons, I will obviously go still brawling into shuriken. It's still the best thing. It will still probably be the best thing for power region, for troll and for heal. So yeah. We don't know how the DPS will look like. They try to balance this out, but we all know, that this also means that there will always be something flavor of the monster. Which brings us to the next point, which is removing advanced mechanics and weapon mastery bonuses. Yeah, that word is really bonuses here. So they're removing, whenever you execute an advanced mechanic, you get an extra damage buff on top. Be it 1, 2, 3, 4, be it combos, pets, and so on and so on and so on. This will also mean they have to rework the whole power return mechanics, but they haven't said anything about it, so yeah, that's something that we will see. So damage will go back to what we had before. Weapon mastery, bonus, and AM was introduced, so around before Game of the 36, if you remember, if you have played that at that time. It will not remove. It won't be still the same as it was there, because they keep the dovetails on powers. So that means you have this 1.2 seconds round dovetail. That means you can't just clip your whole bar into each other and no one will see the power. That will be a dovetail. So this very old hardlight clipping that people might remember from maybe from my video, if you've seen the Gates of Tartarus or the Prime Battleground. This is this one here. I'll just put it up here for you so you remember. This will not come back. For those who hated it, don't worry, it's not coming back. For those who loved it, well, sorry, it's not coming back. But it's not too bad. You will now again being able to multiple, as hardlight example, this best example right here. As hardlight, you will be again being able to power clip combos into each other as you did in the past. Because this is what people were missing. Light turned into press a power and then just combo on your mouse to Boredom. It can be really boring. And it wasn't really exciting. It feels actually super slow. I tried it out myself. I feel it's super slow. Because you just press power and your loadout. It was like, how do I fill it up? Which brings us to another point. So let me just quickly wrap that up. They're removing those, so everything will go a little bit back to Game of the 36 and before. They're trying to balance out that you can use weapon mastery still. Yeah, you won't just do the crazy super duper damage that you might have done when Webmaster was introduced. It will be more like, yeah, you're doing just normal damage like anyone else. Advanced mechanics won't do crazy. You won't do your, well, I don't know what you did, 100k hits on CR, on an equally CR NPC with your 1, 2, 3, 4. You won't do it anymore. It will be a lot lower, like, I don't know, 50k? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, so yeah, it's going on. The damage will be down here. However, you will be closer to the supports for damage. I'm going there in a second. So I wanna explain something else about this. Players will get a wide variety of options. You can go webmaster, you can go advanced mechanics, you can go a similar old style from old clipping type of where you just use the power or something. Weapons will be thrown around again. We don't know. It's pretty clear there will be some flavor of the months. There will be. It's inevitable. They can do what they want. People will test around. There will be inevitable. There will be that flavor of the months, and people will flock to it. Fact. Um, what it will solve is just the monotone style of gameplay that we got the last 2 years, and yeah, so it's good, but it also means a lot more balancing issues they will have to deal with. I hope they can get it as close as possible. Some powers got adjusted to advanced mechanics so much they are not really that anymore what they were. Like Mental was really great at single target before gameplay 36, but now it's something different. It got so heavily adjusted for this 1, 2, 3, 4 concept that it might be not that great anymore. I don't know. We will see. Um, yeah, meaningful choices, as I said. Um, and then we come to damage and non-damage roles. So this is the part that I mean. People in the support roles will be now able to have more to contribute in terms of damage than a non-damage than a DPS. Sorry, oh my god, than a damage dealer, than a DPS, because the DPS gets yeah, let's say nerfed down to closer to a level of a non-damage role. So they will be a bit closer to each other. You see, they're still at the top, but the heap is not like 5 to 10 times. It might be just more like, or 4 to 10 and more like 2 to 5. Maybe they cut it in half. Who knows? We don't know the details here because Affair is still working with his team, with the whole team on it. Which brings us to the next point. They are actually finally doing something with the supercharges. Everyone got tired of how useless some superchargers were in the game. Yeah, I hope this should be the one part that should fix it. Yeah, we have superchargers that are great. Ice Elemental, great. Sorceries, Grand Summoning, great. And then we have, again, Hardlight. Nothing there is useful because Hardlight suffered really badly. This weapon buff was useless. And supercharging was useless because whatever you did while you combo, it cut your combo, your combo meter, and as well it cut your AM out of nowhere. And this will have finally a meaning impact again. So I think other players are straightforward the most happiest players right now. Of course, on top there will be nature and electricity that should be, because of the removal, their damage is actually more valuable now again, because nature and elec were pretty fine before game update 36. They were really fine. Okay, elec has now one big problem. Electricity has one big problem because before all of that, electroburst was it? Um, was actually electro burst, because what the name implies is there is a damage burst somewhere there. It had a damage burst similar to nature's Briar effect. Yeah, you have that huge damage AoE around you. It's a point blank AoE damage, and then it has a dot applied. They removed the big burst, and I really hope Affair is re-adding the damage burst to it. Make it a point blank Briar, please. Make it a point blank Briar, because electricity needs burst. It right now is a bit lacking on it. A bit is good. It's actually an understatement. Um, and nature keeps having the Briar option here, and even that PI power interaction tool they got with that snake thing and so on. They got this terrorize effect there, which I never understood, but okay. And supercharges, back to supercharges, will get yeah, there will be options to work towards the supercharges faster. There will be more used than before. It seems to be that the supercharge gain, the counter for it will be increased and stuff, so you get more to do with the supercharge. Like I think he's going in the way of what in MOBAs are ultimates that you use also a lot more often. So he's maybe cutting it down to per 1 to 2 minutes, something like that. So you have these ultimate scenario from MOBAs, which is great. This is really a good thing. And we will see how that plays out. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot to do here. Because the supercharges are right now completely imbalanced. If you take the weakest to the strongest supercharges, there's such a huge gap they have to work with. And we will see how that will unfold. Modifying power and power region. Well, I'm just cut it here short. They have not really said anything how it will be, but they're doing something with the power region mechanic. So this is what I can say. We will have to wait until they actually bring it on test, and we will see how it will look out. I won't comment here on it, and yeah. Removing PowerPoints. This is the part now that made me most exciting. Removing PowerPoints will mean a lot, because this will allow finally power option, loadout option that you have never ever thought about. And I'm going again back to Hardlight. I'm so sorry, guys, but I need to get back on Hardlight, because Hardlight has so many stuff that you couldn't access with your 15 PowerPoints. It wasn't possible. Now you can access fan. What else is there? Snaptrap, inspiration, and light blast at the same time. You can access this, all of it now. It will be great, while having all the other innate as well. You will get everything now. This is so great. Even Celestial has so many options, but sometimes you will be like, oh god, I'm missing these other 2 points to get into the other 3, and you don't need it anymore. You can finally access and run all the options you want. Be it PvP. I don't really know if PvP is there. Was there some limitation? I don't know. But be it PvP or be it PvE, you can finally access every single combination there. And play and toy with it around. It will open up options that some people have never ever seen before. It's good. Okay, that also means it will open up more problems probably in terms of balancing, but it's first and foremost one of the best things. And how do you get those power points? Right, just by leveling. All your powers will be unlocked by level from 1 to 30. Of course, if your character is already level 30, you will get straight access to everything. And if you wonder where the iconic powers goes, those who do damage and are actually like an ability will be still found there, and those who wear like an innate will be moved to the skill points where you put your skill points in. They're just there now. They're accounting for it. And this brings us to ending midrange. Midrange will be removed, which is great. Or do you also, being one of these people who hate These DPS mindlessly hugging a boss so close that you know that the boss will just about to be one-shotting or everyone around him because they they just can't get their range going because the boss does a mid-range AoE and I just killed some away. And you'll be like, wow, facepalm, because these people can't adjust themselves. Is they can finally stay range. They can stay range and do the same damage as you did before Game of the 36. I don't even know when that whole mid-range first cut off range and melee got introduced. That was shortly after Game of the 36, I think. I can't really fully remember that part, but it was horrible. People started to melee where they should never ever melee. Um, um, it will still be people who think they have to hug a boss to do more damage, but I don't care, let them die. I started to let people die on purpose as a healer because I just couldn't stand people using their brain in the game, and DPS are prone to this. Alright. There will be, of course, point blank. Point blank or 7 meter thing. So ranged melee loadouts should get a huge buff and should be actually being more rewarding. This is their goal for melee. Also, I think Hardlight has also something like this. If you melee with baseball bat or something, that you get more rewarded in terms of damage. We will see how that all plays out. Yeah, and yeah, we gotta see what this will be like. And now we're coming to the future part. Yeah, the future part is they're obviously planning more. Future part also means water soon, TM, whatever that will be, right? Uh, I will throw it out, blind guess, not before 2017. Yeah, so this will be also they're planning more. Fair seems to here have a huge conceptual plan about what he wants to do with damage and supports and so on. He also mentioned in the stream, he mentioned in the stream that he's going to give controller buffs and debuffs, well, more debuffs, more meaning. Like right now, the defense debuff is 7%, the damage debuff is 7%. The heal debuff is also 7%, I think. What I suspect here, he will up the numbers. I personally hope for the defense debuff to go up to 15 to 20%. The damage debuff, yeah, 15%, maybe 2. And the heal debuff, oh please let it go up to 50% or something, because the thing is otherwise so useless right now. Or in other games they're going nearly next to 100%, but like 50% make the healing debuff matter. Really make it matter. So this is this. So overall, this is a lot to take into. A lot of stuff that is going to be planned here. Which brings me again to my opinion. Is this something... it puts up a lot of questions now. I've seen people asking on the forums left and right about things, and I have to say, wait. Because we don't know things like people already speculating, oh, this and this power will be OP. We don't know. Just because you judge right now the power, what we have now, well, they're going to adjust all powers. That means just what something right now seems to be OP with the AM and weapon mastery removal might not be still OP because they might tone down those stuff as well. I can't speak for PvP, but for PvE, wait for the test server. don't judge us right now. Don't pull up assumption blind out of your arse just because, and wait for it, because the test server, and this brings us to the part when it will be on test. So, well, it's going to be the next. They said it, the next thing on test, whenever that will be. It could be next week, this week, it could be in a month. My blind guess is they releasing now survival mode. Probably when you see that video this week on a Wednesday. And then they probably let it sink in first, and then they're going to release the stats revamp on test server. So the stats revamp will be maybe in the beginning to the middle of October, somewhere in that time frame. And then it will stay up as long as it has to be. So don't assume that everything that we have on test is usually up there for 2.5 weeks. It won't be there for just 2.5 weeks. I can assure you this thing will be on test for a month or even more. And this is good because depending on how much things have to be adjusted, yeah, it's going to be a lot. And this brings me to another point. People who complain that testers don't do the job. Go get a PC if you don't have one. It doesn't have to be the best. Yeah, I can play it on my 7-year-old notebook with absolutely no graphic. I can play it. Go on test. It will be open for everyone. You can test there. Go there. Test stuff. Don't stay there also around in the watchtower and act like everyone would, oh, I'm on test now. This should be enough. And now I'm standing around here. Because on test is the same scenario. People logging on to test and standing in a watchtower doing nothing. It's the same scenario as in life. It's hilarious. Go on test. Test powers. Test content. Don't just test the recent content. Go from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Go everything. Go even leveling content. Go everywhere. It needs to be tested. There are gearboxes there that you can get. Yeah? There are gearboxes there that makes you easier to upgrade. There is a lot of people who can help you there. Use the server chat. Yeah? They can help you. I will be also on test. I will be testing a few content pieces and 2-3 power sets I have in mind I want to test as well. But you shouldn't be someone on the forums complaining that the testers didn't do their job when you haven't tried it on your own. There can be always an oversight, and there will be always this kind of people who go on test just to find the next best glitch and won't report it because they are freaking assholes. And keep silent. These people exist too. These are not real testers. So don't mix up real testers with idiots who are just trying to find the next best glitch or exploit and keep it for themselves and act like they are great and what's or not. They are shit players because they can't do it without them. Okay, that's all actually so far. Enough ranting. I don't want to go too much into rant mode because the update is great. I can only tell people to test. It's a good thing. This whole thing looks great on paper. It might be something that the game could bring a few people back that left. Sadly, this should have never ever come that far. Game update 36, game update 47, in this way as it should have never happened in the first place. Those last 2 years could have been used for something else to improve, like the controller role, which is so seems to be right. So blatant boring in its role because all power sets are the same in that terms. Nothing is really super unique there, like healing or tanking. I hope this is the next step they're going after. This gets the first adjustment. And yeah, that's it from me. If you have anything else you want to have my opinion about it, there's the comments. If you want to see more of these kind of videos, best thing is to subscribe so I see there's an interest, or like, whatever you want. Thanks for watching, and whenever it goes on test, I will stream. So check out twitch.tv/illusion. Check it out. Subscribe there too, so you don't miss out when I'm streaming. I'm streaming different games right now, so not just DC. So always look up what I'm streaming, and you won't miss it out. Well, thanks for watching, and see you around. Bye bye.